be here. We just opened a very important conference on protection and preservation of cultural heritage. And I'm really happy that so many experts from India and from Europe are here to exchange information to make our cooperation in this field close. And usually the EU-India cooperation is very much associated with trade, investments, climate change, and science, technology. But the scope of EU-India cooperation is much broader and covers as well culture, including cultural preservation, cultural heritage preservation, and people-to-people contact. Because talking about culture, we have to be very clear. There is a very broad scope of areas and sectors which are important for both our societies. First of all, culture is an important means for promoting knowledge about each other, promotion of the values we share between Europe and India. But at the same time, there is an economic and social dimension, because the culture and other creative sectors, they provide a lot of jobs and are an important instrument for promoting social and economic development. For your information, in Europe, 4.2% of GDP is produced by sectors related to culture and creative industries. And I'm sure that this percentage in India is equally high. And when, as I mentioned in my introductory remarks, the European Union and India have developing the collaboration in the field of culture, cultural heritage, people-to-people contacts for a long period of time. And we are moving forward. That's why such cooperation was very much underlined by our leaders when they met in October last year in New Delhi. And it's an important part of our newly published strategy on the relationship of the European Union with India. But allow me to be more specific on certain issues. The preservation of cultural heritage is also a part of our development assistance program to India. I would like to give you a few examples. First one, which is not known, but it's an extremely successful project, is a cultural heritage and management venture led in Ahmedabad. And the European Union, European companies and some European cities, they cooperate with the partners here to develop a holistic approach to cultural heritage preservation in conjunction with social and economic development. And some experts who are present here have been very much engaged in the implementation of that project. Another project I would like to mention is a project which is called the Ethno-Magic Joint Global Project, which is implemented in West Bengal. The focus of that initiative is the development of a unique folk and cultural-based creative industry benefiting poor and marginalized people in West Bengal. Again, this is a combination of culture and economic and social dimension. Another thing is another example. We have the student exchange program, which is called Erasmus class and Erasmus Mundus. And among students who have been part of the program, people engage in cultural preservation and in culture as well. We have as well a program which is called Horizon 2020, and under this project we have Marie Curie scheme for researchers mobility, which again provides a platform for better cooperation. We have as well developed projects in the field of research and innovation program, which includes the possibility for individual fellowships on cultural heritage. Another example, which is very important and paying to it a lot of attention, is the EU-India partnership for sustainable urbanization. And of course, sustainable urbanization focuses first of all on economic and social dimensions of such partnership, but our approach is to develop this partnership in a very holistic way. It means that to cooperate with India, with some Indian cities, with the Ministry of Urbanization on developing a holistic approach to urban development, including cultural aspects, cultural heritage aspects. And by the way, it's also linked to climate change. I mentioned in my speech the Copernicus program, which is the European Union satellite program in the field of Earth observation, and that recently the European Union and India signed an agreement, and the Copernicus Earth observation program will be accessible for Indian partners, free of cost, and again it will be discussed later on. It's a system which can be used for the preservation of cultural heritage. We want to promote Europeana, which is a digital platform of the European Union, which gives access to so many European museums and European cultural sites. It will help the Indian people to get access to the European heritage. And it will be interesting to learn how such concepts are being developed in India as well, and what kind of experiences we have collected as while building the European digital platform for India. I could go further giving you examples. I would like to finish this short introductory remarks by underlining that while trying to build a really stable and well-advanced partnership between the European Union and India, we have to think about different aspects of it. Economy, trade, investments are very important, but we have to remember as well about soft elements of this partnership, which are very much related to culture and preservation and protection of cultural heritage. Because your cultural heritage is ours as well, and our cultural heritage is yours. We are very proud that we are so rich from the point of view of civilization development, cultural development, and we should do everything possible to know each other much better. It will build even stronger fundamentals for our partnership, for people-to-people contact, and knowing each other better, we will be able to further deepen our cooperation. Thank you very much.
Can I take a question, sir?
Yes,
My name is Sanjay. I'm from World News 24/7. So we have the Archaeological Survey of India, which is in the 250th year this year, and they've been doing a lot of geo mapping. So you are also, I think, possibly doing something in geo mapping. And when we're talking of India and Europe and the rest of the world, so how would geo-mapping help in the future preservation of the monument?
No, I mean that geomapping is something which is very well developed in Europe,
Yes.
and we cooperate with other parts of the world. And I understand that when this Copernicus Earth observation system is in place, it can play a really important role in moving this subject forward. And there was one of the panels during the conference would be devoted to exactly to this point. And I would suggest you to follow it because experts, I'm not an expert, I'm an expert in using the most modern digital formula, will be able to find out in what way we can cooperate on it better.
Thank you.
You mentioned about the fellowship. It will be for the Indian students or European?
So our overall our idea is and our objective is to have as many Indian students in Europe as possible and vice versa. And there are a very dense network of different options, including scholarships provided by the European Union, such by EU member states, by universities in Europe and in India. As of now, our estimation is that we have approximately 50,000 Indian students in Europe as of now, and this number is growing, and the interest of Indian citizens to study in Europe is growing. In this context, as I mentioned, there is a big number of schemes, projects, programs, scholarships, projects. But one is a very specific one, it's Erasmus Mundus. Erasmus Mundus project is a project which is open to citizens of third countries all over the world, and the Indian students are very successful in applying for such projects. Only a few months ago, in August, I met with another 100 Indian students who have been successful in getting a scholarship under Erasmus Mundus. It's a project which allows students to go to Europe for 1 or 2 semesters for European universities. It's based on our previous experience because in Europe, Erasmus Plus project practically allows all European students to go at least for a few months to another country. And at the same time, we are really very happy that the number of European students coming to India is growing, although it's a much higher potential to attract European students coming to India.
So how is the Venture Lab funded, which is you're running in Ahmedabad? Venture Lab, how is it being funded?
I don't know details,
Right.
but what I can tell you that a few months ago I met implementing agency of the project, which is run by Spanish experts. The project aims to detect and support the local heritage-based ecosystem to make culture the driver for social and economic development. And it's financed by our development assistance.
European Union.
It's funded by the European Union.
Thank you.
But it's implemented by usually we look for partners who are best to provide support. Again, there is now experts here in the room who have been engaged in the implementation of the project.
Is there something that India specifically needs to work on in terms of, cultural heritage conservation? Because, like we spoke of Europeana, it's something which is driven digitally. We don't have anything like that, so there is not a lot of interaction. What do you think?
That's what I mentioned. We will preserve Europeana here, and we will meet with Indian experts in this field. And we will share our experience, how we have built it, how we what is the popularity of this platform. And I'm sure that India, being so digitalized country, being more and more digitalized country, very soon probably will invent something which will meet India's requirements and India's conditions. But it's something for the future. I mean, that if you want to go to Acropole, you can go and to see in 3D in Acropole or Louvre or any other cultural heritage sites in Europe. And it's something that we think that we are able to share our experience and our achievements in that field.
So just a last question was, does Discovery and National Geographic, they've been doing a lot of work on all these heritage sites and all. So does this partnership, the European Union and Indian, would be involving them as well?
I don't know.
Okay. yeah, thank you.
Look, on that way, you may have a lot of questions.
Yes.
I have a lot of questions.
Yes, sir.
But the idea behind organizing this conference has been to bring experts from both sides and to discuss different aspects of our cooperation in the field of cultural heritage conservation. And I hope that after 2-day deliberation, we will be much wiser and we will be able to identify much better ideas how we can do such type of cooperation.
Thank you.